we're looking it forward to.
All right, interesting. How is it like for the youth today? Over the weekend, political scenes, twists and turns, and now looking at Sakaja's degree, fake or real kind of headlines. Is it a bit of a shake-up for the youth?
Yeah, it is a shake-up because we understand that Sakaja also is on the top levels.
Okay.
So we, the youth who are actually on the low levels, how are we going to manage if now the big P's, the big G's, and I told that there's no room for you because you don't have a degree. What about us who haven't succeeded yet?
What a thought. I don't know what Simba thinks. Simba, we have such a, hot start here with, Moses saying if the big OGs...
Was that Sakaja is a big OG?
I mean, he said something,
Sure.
about the big guys over there. What about the youth down here?
It could not be a big OG if he lacks that degree, man. I mean, it's to be said. And this is the way I look at it. If you were in Igade's shoes right now, when your front runner is facing the biggest impediment ever, you do not have that degree, would you be celebrating right now or saying, please, just let it be 50-50 on the polls? You'll be celebrating.
You keep putting me on the spot with questions today.
You'll be celebrating, won't you? Imagine
you guys know the
imagine
obvious.
your biggest competitor, you don't have that degree. And you are Igade right now, yeah? From Equity, from Vivo, and with all that codification, and then your biggest competitor has no degree. There are questions around that.
But don't you think,
I'll stop campaigning.
Yeah, of course.
Don't you guys think some of these things are political?
No, they are not.
So how can you be sure that really his degree is either fake or not? Or real?
Here's the thing. UON did make a statement.
Oh my goodness.
That's it. They made a statement.
All right, guys, we're going to go straight into the papers. I will be, getting your thoughts on it.
Thank you.
Charles Kege is moto, hot for all those.
Sure.
And the Standard is very, very bold about this. Sakaja making headlines. And what it reads is... Sakaja degree, fake or real. You get more of this on page 8. And it says big trouble, really, Simba. They wrote big trouble. And saying despite getting clearance, 4 cases have been filed to challenge Johnson Sakaja's nomination for governorship. And if any succeeds, gentlemen, he could be knocked off ballot, leaving Kenya Kwanza clutching on hope that IEBC allows a replacement.
Isn't it? And now listen to that. This is what the Daily Nation is saying. The Sakaja given until noon today to file evidence. Or else, knocked out.
Noon today. Look, that's a few hours
That's a few hours.
What are your thoughts,
Now,
Moses?
I feel like Sakaja is already prepared. He's already prepared for the consequences without having the degree.
How though?
Oh, really?
If you take a look at what is happening, the political scene that is happening currently in the country,
yes,
we understand that it's not Sakaja who is the first person to be denied access because of academic credentials. And actually, if you read here, we were told that Sakaja presented a degree.
That's on the Star, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
the Star is saying that is in page 20 that a degree from Team University in Uganda for his clearance. So do we?
Hold on. So where's this conversation though?
No, that means he has more than one degree. I mean, we, the average youth right now has first degree, second degree, third degree. Don't they just need a degree?
I feel like Sakaja has access. He has access.
Okay, but fine. But why is it a bone of contention? Because then, why there are questions around his qualification? If indeed what you needed to do during that time is just produce your degree.
My question is, why didn't he produce
that one?
That one before. All right.
So that this does become a conversation. There's more to that story.
There's more to that story. Grab it on page 8 of the Standard. Maybe there's 8 on the Star, and of course the Daily Nation as well. But gentlemen, like we mentioned earlier on, IEBC now on the spot. Everybody's saying we are running out of time. The elections are, even nearer and closer. Are we prepared? And do we trust the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission? I need to hear from Moses before I read what is going on between Raila Odinga and Wafula Chebukati.
I will say that the IEBC is really prepared for the August polls, because if you take a look at the events that we have, the elections that we have had before, we've not seen strategies like the ones that are put now. If you see the digital elections that Chebukati is insisting that before actually June 15 or ahead, things will be clear. So
Okay.
I believe that IEBC and Wafula Chebukati is readily prepared to avoid at least rigging in the election and of course denials in this. It is prepared.
Oh my goodness,
on
you said
paper.
June 15th, yeah?
On paper.
When is today, Simba?
Was that
Today is...
11th? Is that?
Today's talk.
Wow. Wow, was that?
All right.
It's actually not
So-
12, it's 13th. Most
Oh,
Today's
wow,
13th. So
everybody's
gentlemen.
off. What's going on?
Lovely weekend.
Weekend was heavy.
So what do you think, Simba? According to Moses, well, they can be prepared in 2 days. Everything will be clear. June 15th, you said.
Yep.
According to the IEBC, and we're going electronic. We've not done this before in this country.
Yeah.
Fully electronic.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about it when we started off the show.
The entire register is going to be fully electronic.
Okay.
Therefore, raising questions, and that's exactly what we've heard from a section of political leaders in this country. Fine, good.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir, for presenting that. We love it. But then the question that you have to ask around that area is electronic register fully tamper-proof? Because that's what you have to prove.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you can prove that nobody is going to interfere with it, fine and that's it, we're okay with it. And that's exactly what Chebukati has to do now.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe Chebukati has done that because
Has done.
No, yet.
He's doing that. He's
No, yeah,
doing that
because
actually
Moses,
because of the
here's the
strategies
thing.
he's putting.
Yes, if you look at that exercise that was held the other day, the mock election exercise,
Yes.
a lot of questions that came up from that area because they actually did hold a mock election exercise,
Yes.
exactly what is expected
Yes.
in replica polling stations across the country. They did it, and a lot of questions did arise from that. So that's exactly what we want Chebukati to address. Other than him addressing Raila Odinga, I think
yes.
it's a 10-point stage that he addressed him, isn't it?
And I'm actually
Yes.
glad you mentioned that, and it's pretty much taking, center stage what is then going on between Raila Odinga and Chebukati, rather
Yes.
than
Yes.
the IEBC against the state or the Wananchi. We
Yes.
need clarity. And if I read this, from page, and of course you can get more of this discussion on page 6, expect only digital registers at polling stations, IEBC tells Raila. That's what it reads.
Hold on.
Yes.
It's to Raila, not
To Raila.
It's not the country.
No, not to the country. And of course, here the changes highlighted in response. This is what is written.
Yes.
In response to Azimio leader Raila Odinga's 10
Okay.
demands,
Okay.
IEBC boss, Wafula Chebukati, says only electronic registers will be used on election day, a deviation from the past where hard copies were mandatory. And if you look at this, I do not know how to make this, but I wish to share this with you, Simba. If you see this
Wow.
right here,
Yes.
it's just Chebukati on one side, his answers to Azimio La Umoja flag bearers,
On the other side.
questions.
Yes.
Pretty much it. I wonder why this daily chose that approach, really.
Isn't it? But I want to look at that story again.
Yes.
Anki, just, I'm not putting you on the spot again.
Oh, please, you are.
Is there? So I'm looking at electronic register. Because if you cannot... Here's my question, and I've seen those questions come
Yes.
up right now. If we can verify the electronic register now and say that it looks correct 100%, because then we do not expect any additional names on it.
Oh, yes?
We are done with the registration exercise and everything is done.
Not forgetting if Sakaja isn't
That's
qualified.
it. That's it. That's the only time. That's the only time. Maybe Sakaja will be. We're not praying for that. Here's the thing. So we can verify it and then say it's 100% now. It looks correct the way it is, and every other collision goes through it and says that this is exactly what it is, and then we get to print it physically. And those copies then will be also be distributed across the other political parties then towards the elections. Do you think that would be better than electronic registers? Because that's where the question is. Fine, good, but how tamper-proof is it? Which one is harder to tamper
I believe the hard copy is very much harder than the digital one.
To be
That's the digital
manipulated
one.
for
because
example.
we need it to be clear, we need it to be visible.
Yes.
Now, there will not be so much mistakes as compared to the hard copy. Because if you look at the damage, if you look at the misuse of the hard copy as compared to the electronic...
Misuse, you said.
Yeah,
Yes.
misuse, yeah. As compared to the digital ones, there's so much of it, there's so much of clarity, there's so much of clear view on the visibility in the elections. So we believe that the digital will work more. But there's also a conversation on what about the areas that has easy access internet? You know, how will they be able to manage this?
I remember that
You know.
discussion, and of course, in that light, you
Yes.
know, Musheru has now spoken on the ICT bill.
Oh yeah, that's a
I don't know if you
controversial one.
followed
by the way.
that.
Yes,
Yeah, and
I've been following it.
on page 26, he
That's
now
it.
says the ICT, pardon me, practitioners bill seeks to establish an ICT institute to register and license ICT practitioners and collect membership fees. I'm looking at us going digital, you know, fully for
Yeah.
elections. And if we actually are successful this year, it's probably something we're going to do in the general elections to come.
Yes.
But where the ICT bill stands, I don't know if you guys heard about it, or if you have thought about it.
I've looked at it. It's one of those unnecessary ones.
Unnecessary,
If
you
you
say?
ask me, yes.
Okay.
If you ask me, yes. Because when you look at some of the provisions of that bill, and I'm saying that, well, my earpiece today doesn't, it hates
I
me.
wanted to apologize.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Hopefully we're fine now. So one of them, it states that you really need a degree then to practice in this country. Fine.
Yes.
But the same people who are making that law are the ones that do not need a degree to get in an office. Because if we are promoting ICT in this country, we are talking about quick skills, learning skills, that you and I can actually learn on coding, on software development, on all that, then we can actually start businesses that can prop up this economy.
Yes.
Then when you were telling me that my business is going to be as useless as anything else, will never be registered in this country if I do not have a degree, then you, sir, you, madam, are going negative to what you need to do in this
controversial.
country. I mean, we go to developed countries. Steve Jobs, did he have a degree? I mean, dropouts are the ones who are building economies. The blue economies that we're talking about here are built by dropouts. So why would you start to ask us for degrees to practice in this country, which you're saying, kazi kwa vijana, without Jesus
And of
Christ,
course,
let me-
degrees
think
to
it's gonna
even
work out,
practice
Jackie.
politics.
Listen, let me not go
I think
on
it can work out.
Let me
because-
not go on it. And the same people who are making that law do not need a degree to practice in this country.
Simba, you need water to drink.
Yes.
It's getting hotter on set.
Yes, Auntie, you see that?
What do
I
you
was
think?
already prepared actually for this conversation
That's it.
because in the sense that when we're saying about, when we're talking about, you're saying that having the degrees now, what we mean is actually strategizing on the effect on the power of the government. If we say that the whole parliament or the whole government is doesn't have that high credentials on education, that means we have matters of education. We'll have a non-reasoning government in a way. But if you take a look on someone who has succeeded in the degree level or higher levels, he will have much understanding of what this problem is
No.
and how I need to sort it.
Moss says no. I disagree with you. In this sense, fine. If you want to get that degree, go get it. That's fine. You want to get that master's, go get it. That's fine. But when it comes to practice, anything on technology,
On technology.
On technology.
So he's very specific about technology.
On tech,
So, on tech.
ICT.
Nice.
If it's my best, it's like, you know what it is?
Guys.
Listen, Anki. What if today I wake up and say, anybody who wants to make mandazi in this country
Must have a degree.
needs a degree?
Oh yes, cooking. Simba, I want to hear what guys think back at home on this particular, contentious
Yes, I
discussion.
disagree with it.
But I want to.
Just before we cross over,
Okay.
and to make matters worse, those guys passed that bill and they went home. We don't know when they're going to come back. So
but-
that bill will go through in the next like 2 weeks.
Yes.
It'll officially go into law.
Yes.
And those guys who passed it without a degree are outside here telling us they want to help us, when indeed what they're doing to young boys and young girls and youth in this economy is killing them. They can't practice without that degree. So they're telling them, go back to school.
All right.
Do you feel that these people that are getting engaged in the training of the IBC or the voters registration process, do they have a degree? They have a degree?
Let's hear from the public, guys. We are live on Facebook right now.
Thank you.
And now from the gentleman in studio, what are your thoughts back at home? Remember, it's just a newspaper review. And guys, we have been talking about the next generation, this generation, our children. I don't know if Simba is a father. But 12 million children access pornography.
I saw that headline. Which page is that?
And of course, that's page 13
Yes,
of the Daily
Standard, isn't
Nation,
it?
of the Standard. And more than 12 million children, gentlemen, in Kenya have access to adult pornography online, a report has revealed, and COVID increased access rather to internet. Where are the parents at, and how do you feel today? Talk to me, Simba. This is, for me, this is
That's actually sad. That's actually sad. I'm not saying that I've been, listen, when
you're absolutely not a father.
all right. When it comes, but I've got a couple of nieces and nephews. Yeah. When it comes to them accessing this content, how proof is it that you can actually, what do I say? How can you protect your kids online? What tools are there online? Like if you give your child a phone today, here it is. All right, use it. I mean, some of them are very tech savvy. I mean, the only thing you have to say is that, yes, I'm above 18 years old.
Or, you know, what is 99 times 8?
That's it,
parental.
and they already know it. And boom, they're already in. Is that it? Do we want to stop it there?
I think that's a very good conversation for basically the parents to observe their children each and every time. If you,
Is it possible now, Moses?
It's not possible because we are already digitalized. We've allowed our children to access internet. You can have your phone, you know, but you don't follow up. You don't know what your child is watching. You don't know, so it becomes continuo. You know, as the child develops and sees that today I've watched this. Wow, it seems nice. Let me watch again. Let me watch again. It becomes inbuilt. He or she can't leave it. You know, so it is left to the parents to actually follow up, monitor their children, also the underage.
It's interesting, really, because when it comes to that particular one, it becomes very hard to actually monitor. So, somebody suggested this. That is it possible for us to start now, maybe going on a 1-2 step every time we are on this site, that they're all well mirrored, so that now you can know exactly that this is an adult or this is a kid actually accessing this content. Because when it comes to protecting, you can't just leave it to the parents. There's just so much that happens in a kid's life to the point that it will escape.
Now the problem is on that. Yes, we might have that idea. We might have that this is now an underage watching the stuffs. So when it comes to that, we always say that at this point, you don't understand whether is he the child watching that stuff or is using the parent's phone to watch the stuff.
Okay.
Dad, help me with your phone. Then?
But of course, let me tell you, the new parenting style right now is chukua simu.
Leave me alone.
That's it.
And when you're done doing what you do, and you do not know what your child is accessing, but guys, in that light, I will not talk much about the the story on page 3. Also now, schools teaching fathers, or a school is now teaching fathers to show love and how to bond with their daughters.
Wow.
We have gotten to this. And yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on. Teaching fathers how to show love.
Yes, now fathers who attended the school meeting were given flowers to give to their girls to signify love, and study reveals that daughters with a close relationship with their fathers are less prone to depression and anxiety. I have no idea why my co-host is laughing at a very important headline.
Wait, hold on. Do you think it's that important?
It is important.
What, like you're teaching fathers how to show love?
Show love, Simba.
That is a skill now.
Moses, isn't it in order, before we jump into matters business? I know you're waiting to take us to the business.
Yes.
But it's getting worse now.
So actually, I might also support that, because if you look at...
but you support it?
Yeah, I'm supporting it.
Yes,
because different families have broken because the fathers do not know how to do certain things, you know, to show love. You know, so it becomes an argument. It becomes you can't settle that. You know, because showing love has become a problem.
Know how to love their kids.
It's not automatic, Simba.
Not every father knows how to do that.
Give them food, give them shelter, give them education. Done.
That's not love.
Oh, give them protection.
That's not
social
love.
protection.
Give them
done.
flowers.
That's showing them how able you are, how you can manage them.
All right, guys, I wasn't going to dwell there. So, of course, we are getting into the elections, and a few minutes to wrap up the newspaper review. I cannot wait to hear from the business. I always like. But before that, Simba, there has been a lot in the cabinet, or the outgoing government. The deputy president saying, well, I have failed you. I'm sorry, my boss. you know, Karua is using a tactic here. I'm
Yeah.
going a bit of politics now.
Yeah.
And of course, making headlines, page 5. She says, I'll make a better deputy president.
Yes.
Here, or Theato saying, Karua says disrespecting the head of state sets a bad example for the whole country. And of course, quote unquote, saying, I do not mean you should not correct your boss, but do so wisely. I don't know where she's driving at, but
All right. That's same story on page 7 of the Daily Nation as well,
Yes.
with Karua saying, I'll make a proper deputy president.
There you
so
go.
I'm calling out on DP Ruto. Fantastic. Can we cross over to the business daily and
I'd
get
love
to look at
that.
the
All
biggest
right.
economic headlines?
Go ahead.
Guys, there is a maize shortage in the country as we speak again.
Ugali.
I mean, things economy, they keep
Unga.
on hitting us, yes, they keep on hitting us left, right, and center. That's another one. They're saying right now that the price of unga, again,
Oh my
is
goodness.
bound to shoot up again because there's a maize shortage in the country. We don't know how far this will go on, but maize millers are saying if it goes on for the next 1 or 2 months, then indeed you have to expect expensive ugali.
Simba, last time we were talking about Pwani oil.
Yes.
And this is food for the stomach,
That's
man
it.
for food.
That's it.
And
That's
you
it.
are here telling me that again, one of our staple food, are you, Moses, I need to hear from you. Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? And Simba, you need to make me understand where the problem is at.
It's getting worse, totally getting worse, because hata jana I tried to...
Ulala njaa. Oh, sorry.
I don't know that one. I tried to get 1 kg packet of
Yeah.
flour, but I normally buy it at 75. But
Yes.
at this time I'm buying it at 90 or
Yes.
85.
That's
so
it.
definitely it's becoming hard because your preparation for your pocket is unprepared to actually
Yes.
spend more. You know, and unga is a basic need.
It is.
Yeah, we
It
need
is.
to do ugali and at least to have muscles. So when it gets tougher than what we are approaching, it
Also-
becomes harder for us. Yeah.
Also, as you wake up this morning, Business Daily is also running another headline
Okay.
on how Uhuru shifts the second 15% power cut to the next regime. That makes me angry, by the way.
You keep talking about
It makes
that.
me angry.
Yes.
Anki, it makes me angry. These are some of the promises that we... Do you know how bad it is for you as a president to come in and say, guys, by December, we'll be having a 30% power reduction charge in this country. That is very, very important in this country. Do
Okay.
you know what that means? Businesses will pocket more money because you'll not be spending so much on power bills. You as well will save so much on that. So you are lessening the cost of living by just cutting down the cost of power. And then you come in and tell us, no, guys, it was not possible. I won't be able to do it. So you wait for the next president. I've already told them they need to do this. What if the next government comes and says, no, guys, we
That's
got to go
not our
back to where we
load.
were. That's not what we want to do.
And what that, you know what
Makes
they
me
say?
angry.
Fahari wawili wakipigana.
Nyasi ndio inaumia.
So now this is, you know, transition of power. You're
That's
leaving,
it.
leaving things pending. Moses, what are your thoughts really? Isn't it that President Uhuru Kenyatta would have done better? What are your thoughts?
I think President Kenyatta would have done better than that because when he is leaving his seat, to leave it at least for another person,
Yes.
he should ensure that when he leaves, what is the government left with? What is the situation that the government is left with? And when we're speaking about the Kenya Power, it
Oh,
is
there
a
we
ma-
go.
it is becoming a very challenging. So when you're speaking about approaching the general election, so I believe that when you're leaving the government, wacha kila kitu kimeandaliwa na kimemalizika.
I know, it's the same way when we leave the studio after the morning show.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
but that is a norm, so we can't avoid it.
All right, Simba, you take it away. As a woman in this country, you know what it means to be a woman in this country and how that trickles down to our
Yes.
homes and houses. I wouldn't say much, but of
Please.
course it's in the daily.
Yes. And then this morning, just to wrap up on that, let me just open up. We teased that online
Yes.
this morning on
Yes.
exactly what Kenyans were saying about this. I said things that would not happen. This is Sting, okay? Who's responding on that. I'm just waiting for this. Yes, here it is.
You got it.
He's saying members of parliament need to give us a break in this country. country. I do not understand
Yes.
how they are passing some of these bills that are nonsensical. Thing is, you investigate, you'll find out it's somebody who's trying to make money. That's it. I think that is a very good way to clear, especially the headlines that are covered on the Business Day.
And even as we close this discussion, thank you very much, Moses Okech, for your
welcome.
sentiments, your thoughts, your perspectives on the dailies. Apparently, politicians get so stressed, even suicidal. That is something here you want to read in
Who's
the
that?
pull-up.
Politicians?
Yes.
Okay, listen.
The Standard has it. I'm not going to comment on this.
Give me that entertainment allowance. You know what the entertainment allowance is? 268,000. Do you know
And they
what their
still get
medical
depressed.
allowance is? 1 million plus. Do you know what their salary is?
Please tell
so
me.
why are you going to get stressed?
You're going to get me angry instead. And of
A
course.
car grant.
And they actually don't face. I don't want to talk, Simba.
Please don't.
However, they are humans, and you know what? Take care of your politician. Important.
How? How?
I just said it, Simba. You don't agree? That's fine. I want to take a look at the roads. Moses, wouldn't you care about your politician? Ask them, Mheshimiwa Leo. DM your politician. Ask them, Mheshimiwa Leo, how are you, sir?
No.
Mimi nazapenda kuambia tu Mheshimiwa, this youthful kusota is getting really high, really high.
Right?
Did you just call it youthful kusota?
bwana.
Yeah, sure.
Allah.
You know, so at least when they are doing the stuff, at least they should really help us, as the young youths, at least to get access to kuomoka, access to at least getting money, you know,
I like
at least
the
to
way-
improve ourselves, you know,
Kim, it's just about
improve
money.
our ways of life.
You know,
like
one of the
Moses.
things I liked about our newspaper review guest today, of course, one of our reporters, is how he youthfully put that conversation.
That's it.
Kuomoka.
Kuomoka.
Youthful
Ni
brokenness.
lazima.
Yeah.
Eh?
Ni lazima.
Ni kulombotov.
Lazima. Kuomoka lazima.
Kuomoka lazima.
Kuombotoka.
Kuombotoka.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. And of course, we want to take a look at the roads. How was your way to work today? Traffic, any accidents, any infrastructure? What annoys you on the roads, or what do you love about the roads?
Of course, the potholes. The potholes are too many. We need to at least fashion on our roads. At least making sure that it is swift. You can take your kahawa as you're coming to work. You can just have a swift drive. But we appreciate the efforts of Wiki. I know he's listening. I told him you need to listen to what I'll be giving an insight on the newspaper, and I believe that Wiki is watching. Thank you for your driving abilities. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Moses. I mean, I had an amazing time, and
Thank you.
you were so much fun. Thanks for setting the pace for the week. And joining my able co-host here today, Simba. Today is going to be a bit different on the Arrive Alive. I'd love to know what your experiences has been on the roads. If you have any concerns about road safety as well. And first, how was it here? Did you drive? Did you fly?
Actually, I'll be giving you that story.
Oh,
I've got a backup story, really good on that. That's why I did not drive to work today. In fact, I might not drive for the next 2 weeks or so.
is there another fuel problem?
No,
Oh, no.
just on road safety.
Okay,
Yes.
can't wait to hear that shortly. But of course, right here on hashtag The Morning Drift, we get into the roads. We have our eyes on the roads for you. But remember to use the hashtag The Morning Drift. Tweet at Doris Anki.
And I can't get Simba this morning.
And of course, that is the Arrive Alive. Do not miss it. We'll be right back.